Everyone in the gym turned their heads when she walked in. Small, quiet, and clearly new, she didn't look like someone who belonged on that court. A few people whispered, some smirked. You could see it in their eyes. They'd already made up their minds. She was just another girl trying to prove something in a place that didn't take newcomers lightly, especially not someone like her. The team had been practicing for weeks. Tall players, fast players, the ones who'd been showing off their skills all season. Confidence echoed through the bouncing balls, the squeaks of sneakers, and the occasional laughter. But hers were silent steps. No flashy entrance, no team jacket, just a girl in plain sneakers, clutching a basketball with a calm grip and a steady gaze. The coach almost overlooked her. He raised an eyebrow when her name was called. Some players rolled their eyes. She didn't flinch. She stepped onto the court without a word. No warm-up, no introductions, just focus. The kind of focus that makes the noise fade and the crowd blur out. One of the players tossed her the ball, a little too hard, almost like a test. She caught it effortlessly, looked up. The gym seemed to hold its breath. The coach gave a nod. Go ahead. And then, in one smooth motion, she stepped back, aimed, and took the shot. Everything stopped. Time slowed. No one expected what came next. But before we get to that moment, the moment that changed everything, let's rewind. Who was she? Where did she come from? And what gave her the strength to walk into a room full of doubters and not just stand tall, but rise above every single one of them? This isn't just a story about basketball. It's about resilience, about not needing to speak loud when your actions can speak for you. Stay with me, because what happened after that shot is something no one in that gym will ever forget. Her name was Anya, 17 years old, no fancy training, no private coach, and definitely no highlight reel on social media. Just her, a cracked driveway at home, and a ball that had been passed down from her older brother before he left for college. That's where she learned, between school, chores, and the sound of neighborhood kids playing in the background. She'd stay out long after sunset, shooting over and over until the ball thudded too softly to bounce. She never played for a school team. She never had the chance. There were always tryouts, always a list of names taped outside the gym doors, and hers was never on it. Maybe it was politics. Maybe it was favoritism. Maybe she just didn't fit the picture of who a player should be. But she never let that stop her. Every rejection just made her train harder, push further. She watched YouTube videos, studied moves, broke down the form of every shot like it was a science experiment. When word came about an open tryout for a regional showcase, she signed up without hesitation. No one knew her name, and that was fine. Sometimes the best way to be seen is to show up when no one expects it. She borrowed a pair of shoes from a cousin, patched up her old hoodie, and walked into that gym like it was the only place she needed to be. What the others didn't know was that she'd been preparing for this moment for years. Not just physically, but mentally. She didn't need to prove herself to them. She just needed one clean shot to remind herself she belonged. But of course, things are never that simple. One shot doesn't guarantee respect. One perfect arc doesn't erase years of being overlooked. As the ball spun through the air, silence wrapped the court. Every eye followed its path. But before it landed, before anyone could react, the gym doors opened again. Another figure stepped inside, and everything changed. What happened next would test her even more than that first shot. And she had no idea who was about to walk into her story. The ball hit the net with a perfect swish, not even a whisper of the rim. Gasps followed, then silence. It was the kind of shot that made people forget what they were thinking a second ago. But just as everyone turned to look at Anya with fresh eyes, the gym doors creaked open behind her. A tall girl walked in, confident, polished, and clearly known. Her name was Kiara, team captain, top scorer, the one everyone came to watch. She didn't need to introduce herself. Her presence did that for her. Kiara glanced around, eyes landing on Anya, still standing near the three-point line. Their eyes locked for a moment. No words, just something heavy in the air. Kiara had missed the shot, but not the silence after it. And in that quiet, something shifted. A challenge, unspoken but felt. The coach stepped forward, caught between surprise and curiosity. "You're late," he said to Kiara, but his eyes darted back to Anya. Kiara just shrugged and started warming up, but everyone else could feel the energy change. What was supposed to be a routine tryout now had tension you could almost hear in the dribble of the ball. From the sidelines, players whispered. Some were clearly rooting for Kiara, others just curious how the newcomer would handle the pressure. But this wasn't just about one shot anymore. It was turning into something deeper, a quiet clash between someone who had always owned the spotlight and someone who had just stepped into it. Anya kept to herself, focusing, but her mind was racing. She didn't come to start a rivalry. She came to earn a place. But now it felt like that place would come at a cost. And it wasn't just about basketball. It was about proving that hard work could stand toe to toe with talent, even when no one believed in you. Meanwhile, Kiara's game started shifting. Her shots were sharper, her passes faster. It was as if Anya's presence lit a fire in her. One she didn't want to admit was real. But as the drills continued, everyone started watching not the team, but them. And the real game hadn't even started yet. The gym turned into a battleground without anyone saying a word. Drill after drill, Anya and Kiara kept landing on opposite sides, but somehow always found each other across the court. Every move felt like a statement, every shot, a message. Kiara was fast, experienced, and used to attention. She didn't make many mistakes. But Anya, she was unpredictable, calm, precise, and clearly not rattled by the spotlight Kiara was used to owning alone. The coach noticed. Everyone did. What started as quiet observation turned into subtle comparisons. One had the name, the reputation. The other had hunger, raw, undeniable. Even the assistant coaches stopped scribbling notes and started watching the floor like it was already game day. Tension built as the scrimmage began. Two teams, one goal, and of course, fate had them on opposing sides. From the first whistle, the game had a different kind of energy. It wasn't just about points, it was about presence. Kiara took the ball up the court with her usual fire, slicing through defenders. Anya didn't try to match her speed. She played smart, reading the game like a quiet strategist. It wasn't loud, but it was powerful. Every time Anya made a move, a clean assist, a perfect steal, a smooth jump shot, eyes widened. Whispers grew louder. Kiara noticed. She started pushing harder, faster, almost too much. For the first time, cracks began to show in her polished game. A missed layup, a rushed pass. The pressure was getting to her, but she wouldn't admit it. Not in front of her teammates. Not with Anya watching. Then came the moment that raised the stakes even higher. Tie game. 10 seconds left on the clock. Anya had the ball. The gym felt frozen in time. Kiara was guarding her now, face to face. Everything they'd been building toward, all the quiet conflict, the comparisons, the unspoken rivalry, it all came down to this play. No timeouts, no second chances, just 10 seconds, two players, and a gym full of people holding their breath. The shot wasn't taken yet, but in that moment, everyone knew whatever happened next would define them both. Anya's fingers tightened around the ball, her heartbeat pounding loud enough to drown out the echoes of the gym. 10 seconds, one defender, one chance. Kiara stared her down, jaw clenched, every muscle tense. The entire court had stopped moving. Even the coach stood still. Everyone expected Anya to take the shot. It was the perfect story. The underdog, the final moment, the big finish. But just as Anya made her move, something unexpected happened. From the far side of the court, a whistle blew, sharp and out of place. A second later, a figure stepped onto the hardwood. A woman, clipboard in hand, with a calm but commanding presence. She wasn't part of the school staff. She wasn't even from the region. She wore a jacket with a university logo and a badge that said recruiter.
The room shifted instantly. Players whispered, coaches exchanged looks. Even Kiara blinked in surprise. Everyone knew what this meant. Someone big was watching. And now it wasn't just about this tryout. It was about futures, scholarships, dreams. Everything just got a whole lot more real. But what hit even harder was what the recruiter said. "We're here for one player," she announced, voice echoing through the stunned silence. "And we want to see her under pressure." She didn't say a name, but her eyes landed on Anya. Kiara's face changed. In that one moment, something cracked. This wasn't just a game anymore. This was a spotlight she'd worked years to earn, and now it was being shared. Or worse, taken. The final play reset. Shot clock back to 10. This time, the tension wasn't just between Anya and Kiara. It was the weight of being watched. Every step, every decision now carried more than just pride. It carried opportunity. And the pressure doubled. Kiara closed the gap tighter than before. Her movements were more aggressive now, less controlled. Anya felt it, not just in the game, but in the air around them. The crowd wasn't cheering. They were holding their breath. The ball was still in Anya's hands. But now, the real question wasn't can she make the shot? It was, should she? Anya didn't blink. The noise, the pressure, the recruiter's eyes. She let it all fade. It was just her and the game now. 10 seconds. She dribbled left, then crossed over to the right, Kiara staying with her step for step. The gym buzzed with tension, but no one dared speak. Every player on the court stood frozen, watching a moment they knew would be talked about long after the final whistle. With 5 seconds left, Anya stepped back. The move was sharp, clean, but risky. Kiara lunged, arms up, determined not to let this new girl steal the final moment. But Anya didn't panic. She shifted, spun, and just as the clock hit 2, she passed the ball. The crowd gasped. She passed it, straight to a teammate in the corner, a quiet sophomore who hadn't touched the ball all game. And with zero hesitation, that girl caught it and launched the shot. Buzzer, swish, game. The gym erupted. The team flooded the floor, cheering, hugging the shooter. But then they turned, not to her, but to Anya, because everyone knew she made that play. In the biggest moment, she gave up the spotlight, not because she was scared, because she saw the better shot, because she trusted someone else to shine. The recruiter walked straight to the coach, her expression unreadable. Kiara, still standing near half court, looked stunned. She wasn't angry, not exactly, but something shifted in her too. She realized she hadn't been playing to win. She'd been playing not to lose. And Anya? She'd been playing the game. As the team gathered, the recruiter finally approached Anya. "We came here looking for someone with talent," she said quietly, "but we found something better: vision, leadership, and heart." It sounded like the ending everyone wanted. But then the twist hit. The recruiter turned to the coach and said, "Actually, we want 2 players." And just like that, the rivalry found new ground. Because while the game was over, their journey, Anya's and Kiara's, was only just beginning. The gym slowly settled as the reality of the recruiter's words sank in. 2 players, not 1. The room was buzzing again, this time with excitement and possibility. Anya and Kiara exchanged a glance, something unspoken passing between them. It wasn't just competition anymore, it was respect. Kiara stepped forward first, nodding to Anya. "Looks like we're both in this together," she said, her voice quieter but honest. Anya smiled back, relieved but proud. For the first time, the walls that separated them felt a little less thick. The coach clapped his hands, breaking the moment. "This is the kind of teamwork and skill that wins games," he said. "And it's what we need if we want to go further." Anya realized something important that day. Success wasn't just about the perfect shot or being the best player on the court. It was about trust, vision, and knowing when to let others shine. The team had always been a group of individuals, But now they started to feel like a real unit. The tension that once filled the gym was replaced with something stronger: hope. As for Kiara, she learned that even the most talented players can grow by opening up to new challenges and sharing the spotlight. Her game, once all about proving herself, shifted to lifting others up. And Anya? She found that sometimes the greatest victories come from unexpected choices, the ones where you trust your instincts and your teammates. The recruiter's visit was just the beginning. Scholarships, opportunities, and a whole new chapter awaited both of them. But what mattered most was the journey, the struggles, the silent workouts, the moments of doubt that had led them here. Their story wasn't just about basketball, it was about resilience, respect, and the courage to step onto a court where no one thought you belonged, and then change the game forever. And for everyone watching, that day reminded them, sometimes the shot that changes everything isn't the one you take alone.